Hi, my name is Irene and I am a piano, ukulele, and drum set teacher for the Salvation Army, Orange County. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take a simple tune, Goodnight Irene, the song that matches my name and the song that people sang to me all my life, a simple tune, and how to embellish it by filling it in with extra notes from the chords that support the harmony beneath the melody by plucking arpeggiated notes. And I'm also going to show you a new technique called hammering on that takes one beat and essentially turns it into two notes. First of all, this is the simple melody. You can find the printed music in the PDF in the link below, print it out and play along, or you can just press pause and look at the PDF to the side of the screen. Here's the simple melody. And in this music, you'll see staff notation and you'll see tablature. I'm assuming that you already can read both. There's other videos in our channel that talk about how to read tablature, and you could review those first if you need to. This is in the key of G, and essentially we are only using strings 1, 2, and 3 for this whole video. So string 4, sometimes this G string, the reentrant G string, is higher than the C string, and it sounds like this, but it's actually here. And sometimes people swap out the G string for a lower G like this, which is below the C. In this case, in this video, it doesn't matter which one you use because we are not using string 4, only 1, 2, and 3. All right, so here is the simple melody first, and it goes like this. So now let's fill it out. The chords that are used in this song are G, and the chord shapes are printed in the chart above the staff. G goes like this, with fingers 1, 2, and 3. Just to review the shape of the chord. D7 uses this, and this, and here. Sometimes people bar this and press this down, or you can do 3 fingers and 4 fingers. But it really doesn't matter. We are not strumming chords in this video. And then lastly, we have G7, and it's the reverse triangle of G. G is like this on your ukulele, and G7 is this way, like this, G7. And C is here. That's just for a point of reference, because when we pluck arpeggiated chord notes, filling in between the melody notes, we are using notes from the chord. So first of all, let's look at the first measure. G is our melody note. And then we have 2 beats of filling in. And I'm taking this note, the D and the G again, from the G chord that supports the melody note, this, the G. Okay, so the first measure is going to go melody note, harmony, harmony. The second measure, the A is open and the D is a filled in harmony note. Good night. And then the D is the harmony note. The E is melody, melody. Now in the 4th measure, you see we're going to hammer on string 2 by plucking it open first and then hammering a finger into fret 2. And it essentially splits the beat into E, F. And how do you hammer? Well, you can practice hammering by just slamming your finger onto the fret, onto the string, and holding it as hard as you can. Well, not as hard as you can, but make sure it's definitely pressed down. If you want to practice hammering with all your fingers, here's a quick exercise. Okay. Hammer on. Next string. Next string, and the 4th string. So if you go back to measure 4, we're plucking string 3, fret 2, and then the next string, open and hammer, and then pluck the other string again. Okay, going on to the 5th measure. Irene, good night. here, when we bottom system, first measure, I tend to hold on to everything that I don't need to let go of. So you see, I haven't let go of this finger for many measures, but when I get to the Goodnight, I need this open, I gotta let go. So I play fret 3, and then when I need the open string, I let go and hammer right back on and play the third beat on right here again. So bottom system, first measure, it goes like this. Fret 3, open hammer 3. Let's play that 4 times. Ready, and go. Again. Third time. Fourth time. Moving on, bottom system, second measure. These are more harmony notes, the 2 and the 2. And then the melody for Goodnight. Good night, harmony. Irene, harmony. Good night. Now you have to let go. Irene, harmony. I'll kiss. And I'm going to use this finger. And then we hammer on again. Open to you. This is a little different than the first page because of the third beat, which is just an open string. Second page, second system, first measure. Let's do this measure 4 times to practice. So it's the kiss, you measure. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2. Let's do it again. And third time. Fourth time. Going on, second to last measure, in my dream. And then the last measure is a straight G chord. You can pluck the 3 notes, you can pluck the 4 notes with all 4 fingers, or you can strum all 4. I said we weren't going to use the 4th string, but for the very last note, you can, if you like, no big deal. This G is higher or lower, doesn't matter. Pluck all 4, strum all 4, or just pluck all 3. I mean, just 3, and strum all 3, whatever you like to do with that last note. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about hammering on. Look at first page, second system, first measure. When we hammer on like this, and I said the harmony notes are from the chords, but the note, the open note, this E, is actually not from the chord, which is D7, which is like this. Those are the D7 chords, and this string here, what you end up with when you hammer on, but for a moment, you have 1 step lower than it, and if I took my finger off, that's what it sounds like. It's not quite D7, but once you hammer on, it is part of it. And I kind of think that even without this being properly D7, it sounds pretty cool. I like that. It's kind of a more sophisticated sound, but you can temporarily have notes that aren't quite part of the chord to embellish. Okay, so that's that. Look at when we hammer on to the G chord. Just below that, third system, first measure, the G chord is like this. And this is the note we are going to temporarily take out of G chord by opening up this, which is not quite G, but once we hammer on, it is. So you're allowed to take a note 1 step or maybe even half a step if it's in the key out of the proper harmony in order to embellish. And I also wanted to talk to you about just the principle of harmonizing any melody. Look at the first measure, the G. Irene, this I is the melody note. And I chose to use this D that's also in the G chord. I chose to use this G, but I don't have to use that one. I could use the higher one. Irene. I could use this other string too. Irene. So listen, you have choices. As long as you just pick anything else that's in the chord. So this is my melody note, but I could harmonize with this, or this, or this. I think this one sounds the best, so that's why I chose that. The next measure is still a G chord. When they don't write another letter over the new measure, you just keep repeating the previous one. So G is for, the G chord is for the first and the second measure. Irene, this A is the melody note, but it's actually not quite in the G chord. You're allowed to differ a little bit. But my harmony note is still the same one that I picked. And then good night, this good is the melody. Now look at when we get to D7. D7 is like this, right? So I'm gonna pick this string 3 as my harmony. Same string, because it keeps it kind of consistent. But I could have picked this. I could have picked this. It's up to you, but that's the principle. You have choices on the other notes in the chord that's maybe not on the same string as the melody note. And you just have to figure out which one do you like to hear most. And then you could ornament with hammer-ons too. Okay, those are just some couple of strategies to fancify your plain melody. Have fun with it and try all different songs with different chords. Lastly, before we try the whole thing, I have to say that when you are differentiating melody and harmony notes, just make sure you play the melody notes a little bit louder than the harmony notes. And that way the melody stands out clearly. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. For those of you who want to play it faster, let's do it now. 1, 2, 3.